Hi students, welcome to Maths class. Here I am Venkatesh. Today we will learn an interesting and important topic from 10th class mathematics, that is real numbers. What is meant by real numbers? The combination of irrational numbers and rational numbers are called as real numbers. In your previous class you have learned about real numbers. What are real numbers? Actually, you learned about number system. The numbers which are using for counting are known as natural numbers. Example 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. The combination of natural numbers including 0 is called as whole numbers. The whole numbers including negative numbers are also called as integers. Next, integers having numbers which are in the form of p by q are known as rational numbers. The numbers which are not possible to express in the form of p by q are known as irrational numbers. Now in this chapter we will discuss about the numbers rationals and irrationals. Up to 1.2 exercise we will learn about rational numbers. After 1.2 we will discuss about irrational numbers. Actually in the previous video of your class you have learned about logarithms. Now in this video we will discuss about real numbers, in that rational numbers. Rational numbers, the numbers which are in the form of p by q. The numbers which are in the form of p by q are known as rational numbers. Here p comma q are integers. Here p comma q are integers. Example for the rational numbers are 1 by 2, 3 by 2, 4 by 8, 7 by 11, 12 by 24, 36 by 7, whatever it may be the fraction. Simply the rational numbers are also called as fractional numbers or fractions. Of course 3 is also a rational number because here the denominator is nothing, means 1 is there. 4 is also a rational number because it is also possible to express in the form of p by q, because here nothing denominator is there, means 1. Actually rational numbers are denoted with the letter q, denoted by the letter q, because here q means quotient. Rational numbers are also called as quotient numbers. The next concept is Euclid division algorithm. Actually Euclid, the father of geometry, is called as Euclid. Euclid wrote 2 books, The Elements and Data. Euclid division lemma. For example, any division, 25 divided by 5. Here 25 is called as dividend and 5 is called as divisor. 5 divided by 25. In fifth table, how many times you get the number is equal to or nearest to 25? 5 times you get 25. Here 0 is the remainder. Do you know, if you feel that a 25 dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Here the quotient and product divisor gives the answer dividend by the combination of or by the addition of remainder. Here the remainder is remainder may be equal to 0 or less than divisor, which means the value of the remainder must be less than divisor or is equal to 0. If the remainder is equal to 0, here the divisor perfectly divides the dividend. So in this case we call it as here 5 is the divisor or factor of the given number. Euclid division lemma. For every positive integers a comma b, there exists a unique pair of integers Q and R, satisfying the condition A is equal to BQ plus R. Here the value R is lies in between 0 and B. Here the value may be equal to 0 or less than 0. Here the value of R is always less than B. Actually, Euclid wrote two type of books, that is Elements and Data. This definition was recorded in the book Euclid's Elements. Actually, the book Elements is divided into 13 chapters, or some people saying that 13 books, but the definition was given in the 7th chapter or 7th book of Elements. So now I will explain how to determine the HCF of given numbers by using Euclid division lemma. Exercise 1.1, first and third. Find HCF of the given numbers 1651 and 2032. So how to find out the HCF by using Euclid algorithm lemma. Solution. What it is saying by Euclidean lemma, a positive integer a and b has a relation between bq plus r. Here r value must be lies 0 and b. R less than or equal to 0, r less than b. So by using Euclid division lemma, if he gives two numbers, take the big number 32. So here a is the 2032, b is the 1651. 1651. You have to multiply with something, you have to add something. So multiply with something, which means 1651 is multiplied with 1 means gives 1651. 1651 is multiplied 3302. If you multiply with 1, it should be 1651. If you multiply with it is more than 2032. So that's why multiply with 1 and try to add something that should equally gives 2032. So how much you have to add here? By simply doing subtraction. 2032 minus 1651. 2 minus 1, 1, 3 minus 2 not possible, it becomes 9, it becomes 13, 8, 9 minus 6, 3, 381. So 2031 is expressed in the form of b into q plus r. Now here the remainder is 381. So now try to express this b at this number is in the form of again like this. 1651 must be a multiple of something plus you have to add something. So 381 roughly multiply 1 time 300, 2 times 600, 3 times 900, 4 times 1200, 5 times 1500, of course 6 times 1800. 1800 times is more. If you take 5 times 1500, but here 80s is also there. 5 8s are 40, again 400, 1500, 490, it is also more than enough. So 4 times if you take means 4 300, so 1200, 4 nearest one, so take 4 times. So 4 1s are 4, 4 8s are 32, 3, 4 3s are 12 plus 3, 15 24. So this value is 1524, but you have to add something that should give equals 1651. So try to subtract 1651. So 1 minus 4 not possible, it becomes 11, it becomes 4. 11 minus 4 gives 7, 4 minus 2 gives 2, 6 minus 5 gives 100. So 127. Now try to express this 381 in the form of 381. So 381 can be expressed in the multiple of 127 into something plus you have to add something. 127, 2 times 200, 3 times 300, 327 is 81. So 3 times it equals gives 381, it should be 0. So this is Euclid division algorithm lemma. Find HCF and 651 and 2032. By Euclid division lemma, A is equal to BQ plus R. Here 2032 is possible to express in the form of a multiple of 651 by the addition gives the 2032. So if you want to express a 1651 into something, if 1 times gives 1651, 2 times gives 3302, it is more than 2032. So that's why you take 1 time, but it equals only 1651. You have to add something that should equals gives 2032. So that's why if you subtract 2031 minus 1651, it gives 381. If you add 381 here, it equals it gives 2032. Now try to express here this number with the multiple of this number. So 1651 is equal to 381 into something, plus you have to add something. Here something is 4, because 4 times it is equals to 1524, and you have to add something. So 1651 minus 1524 gives minus 127. So now try to express 381 in the form of multiple with 127. 381 is equal to 127 into something plus something. Here 3 times it equals, it gives 381 but 0. If you want to express 127 with the multiple of 0, it is not possible. So we cannot proceed these steps further. So that's why here where it is ended, that is called as the HCF of these numbers. Now HCF of 1651 and 2032 is equal to 127. Yet where the procedure is stopped, that step gives the answer of HCF of the given numbers. Now question is, in exercise 1.1 fourth one, use Euclid division lemma to show that the cube of any positive integer or any positive number is in the form of 9m, 9m plus 1 or 9m plus 8. Solution: Euclid division lemma is equal to BQ plus R. Here R satisfying the condition 0 less than or equal to or less than B. Here given numbers must be 9m, 9m plus 1, 9m plus 8. If here given what is B, 9. Let positive integer A is equal to 9m or 9m plus 1 or 9m plus 8 you have to show. Here given one is A is equal to 9. Now let's take A is equal to 9b 9q plus R. Take, because if you take B is equal to 9 and place in front of this in the place of B, so this one, what we have to express here, the cube of. So that's why cubing on both sides, A cube is equal to 9q plus R whole cube. You know A plus B whole cube is equal to A cube plus 3A square B plus 3AB square plus B cube. By using this, A cube is equal to 9 cube Q cube, which means this is A, 3A square B plus 3A B square plus B cube. Now A cube is equal to, if you take common 9 up to this term, if you take 1 common, 9 common, 9 square Q cube plus 3 9q square r plus 3 into nine is taken as common, 9 cube r square plus r cube. Let m is equal to entire this term 9 square q cube plus 3 9 q square plus 3q r square. Now a cube is equal to 9 into m plus r cube, but according to this the r values is in between 0 and b value is 9, so that's why r may be 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. It not equal to 9 because it is less than 9. For r equal to 0, the entire term a cube is equal to 9m plus 0, that should gives a cube is equal to 9m. What will happen if r is equal to, for r is equal to 1, what will happen? The entire term a cube is equal to 9m plus r cube, 1 cube means 1, so that is 9m plus 1. For r is equal to 2, what will happen? A cube plus is equal to 9m plus 2 cube, 8, so that term is in the form of 9m plus 8. For r is equal to 3, what will happen? A cube is equal to 9m plus 27, because 3 cube is equal to 27. If you take 9 as a common, m plus 3, let m plus 3 is equal to m, a cube is equal to 9m. If m plus 3 is equal to m, next a cube is equal, if for r is equal to 4, what will happen? A cube is equal to this term 9m plus 4 cube, 64. Try to write 64 in the form of 63 plus 1. Take 9 as a common, 9 into m plus, how many times gives 63? 7 plus 1. Now a cube is equal to, if m plus 7 is equal to m, that is in the form of 9m plus 1. If m plus 7 is equal to, m plus 7 is equal to m. Next, for r is equal to 5, a cube is equal to 9m plus 125, which is also in the form of 9m. It is also expressed in the form of 9m plus 8. Here m is equal to m plus 13. Next, for r is equal to 6, a cube is equal to 9m plus 6 cube. What is the value of 6 cube? 216. It is also expressed in the form of 9m. Here m is equal to m plus 24. For r is equal to 7, a cube is equal to 9m plus 343. It is also expressed in the form of 9m. Here m is equal to m plus 27. Next, for r is equal to 8, a cube is equal to 9m plus 512. It is also expressed in the form of 9m plus 8. Here m is equal to m plus 56. from the above we can say that the cube of positive number is in the form of 9m or 9m plus 1 or 9m plus 8. You can easily understand. For r is equal to 0, the value is 9m. For r is equal to 1, the value is 9m plus 1. For r is equal to 2, the value is 9m plus 8. R is equal to 3, the value is 9m. For r is equal to 4, the value is 9m plus 1. For r is equal to 5, the value is 9m plus 8. For r is equal to 6, the value is 9m. For r is equal to 7, the value is 9m. For r is equal to 8, the value is 9m plus 8. So from this above we can say that the cube of any positive number is in the form of 9m, 9m plus 1 or 9m plus 8. Next concept is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Before going to the concept, we want to learn about composite numbers. What are composite numbers? For example, 4. Try to write down the factors of 4. 4 factors 1, 2 and 4, which means in first table it cancels, in second table it cancels, and fourth table also it cancels. Factors are ended. Next, for 5, 1 comma 5. For 10, 1 comma 5 comma 10. For 16, 1 comma 2 comma third table not came, 4th comma 5 no, 6 no, 7 no, 8 comma 16. These are the factors. Second, 1 comma 2 1. If any number having only 2 factors, that is prime number. If any number having more than 2 factors, that is called as the composite number. We can decide the numbers as a prime and a composite number based on the factors. Here are 2 containing only 2 factors, 5 containing only 2 factors. These 2 are prime numbers. 1 containing only 1 factor, so that's why it is not a prime number nor a composite number. So if you want to decide in a given number is a composite number, that should contain more than 2 factors. Fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Every composite number can be possible to express as prime factorization uniquely. If any composite number given, you can express that in the form of prime factorization. That prime factorization is unique. At the same time, if x is a composite number, you can say that factorization is like this. Here p1, p2, p3 are prime numbers and l, m, n are positive integers. For example, 25 is a composite number. It can be possible in the form of 5 into 5, here 5 square. Here 5 is the prime number. Next, 16 is the composite number. It can be possible to express in the form of 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16, which means 2 power 4. Do you clear with that? So which means 2 is also a prime number. So any composite number given, you can express that composite number as a prime factorization. Now with the uses of fundamental theorem of arithmetic, we will learn about how to measure the LCM and HCF of a given numbers by using fundamental theorem. From exercise 1.2, Find the LCM and HCF of 72 and 108 by using prime factorization method. LCM and HCF. What is meant by LCM? Least common multiple. HCF. What is meant by HCF? Highest common factor. So LCM and HCF. First of all, try to determine the prime factorizations of 72 and 108. 72. How to find the prime factorization of 72? In second table it cancels by 36 times. Again in second table cancels by 18 times. Again in second table cancels by 9 times. Again in third table it cancels by 3 times. Again in third table cancels by 1 time. So prime factorization or prime multiples are 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3, which means here 72 is expressed in the form of 2 is repeated by 3 times and 3 is repeated by 2 times. Prime factorization of 108. So 108 second table cancels by 54 times. Again second table cancels by 27 times. Again third table cancels by 9 times. Third table cancels by 3 times. Third table cancels by 1 time. So 108 is equal to 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 3. Here 2 is repeated by 2 times and 3 is repeatedly multiplied by 3 times. So 108 is equal to, these are the prime factorizations. So now 72 prime factorization is 2 cube into 3 square and 108 factorization is 2 square into 3 cube. So by usage of this prime factorization, how can we determine LCM? For LCM of 72 and 108, HCF. For HCF of 72 and 108, observe carefully. Here how to determine LCM? By simply write the common or all prime numbers in the both 2. Here 2 is common, here 3 is common. Try to write the highest powers in the both. Here 2 square, here 3 is 2 cube. Which one is highest one? 2 cube is highest one. So 2 cube. Next 3 cube or 3 square? Cube is the highest one. So the highest common powers gives the LCM and the lowest common powers gives the highest common powers and the remaining powers also. For example, here 5 is there means you have to multiply 5 also here. You have to write all the numbers here and you have to express highest powers. Now HCF of 72 and 108. Here what are the common prime numbers in production? 2 and 3. Here commonly you have 2 squares. Here 2 squares, another one is also here. So lowest power is 2 square, right? Commonly lowest power is 2 square. Here common lowest power is 3 square. So 2 square and 3 square is the HCF. Once again I am repeat, you have to write all the terms or all the numbers in the product. Here 2 3 only, so that's 2 3. You have to write highest power in the product of both. Next here you have to write common terms, only common terms you have to express here. Next you have to choose the lowest possible powers. Here 2 square is the lowest possible power in the both and 3 square is the lowest possible power in the both. This is very important one. Here the question is, explain why 7 into 11 into 13 plus 13 and 7 into 6 into 5 and into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 plus 5 are composite numbers. These two are composite numbers. Here he is saying, if these two are composite numbers, it has a product which must contain so he is saying these two are composite numbers, which means it is possible to express as a product of two numbers. So first one, take given numbers. First one is 7 into 11 into 13 plus 13, and the second one is 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 plus 5. Now here take 13 as a common, 7 into 11 plus 1, because 13 it is taken as a common. If 7 into 11 plus 1 is equal to k, it is 13k, which means the entire number 7 into 11 into 13 into 13 plus 13 is possible to express as a product of the numbers 13 and the value k. So it is a composite number because it has factors more than 2. The first one is number itself, second one is 1, and another factors are 13 and k. So this is also, if you take 5 as a common, 7 into 6 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 plus 1. If you take here k, L is equal to 7 into 6 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 plus 1. The entire expression is 5L, which means 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 plus 5 is equal to express as 5 into L. It is also consisting of two factors, that is 5 and L. So the above numbers are composite because it has here. So the above number are composite, numbers are composite because it has more than two factors, that is two factors. First factor is 1, next factor is number itself, next the remaining two factors are 13 and the something k. Here the remaining two factors are 5 and something else, so that's why it is possible to express as a product of two numbers. So these two are composite numbers. Next we will learn about terminating and non-terminating decimals. Actually any rational number can be possible to express as either as a decimal expansion consisting of terminating or non-terminating recurring. So here theorem 1.3 says, let x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. Terminates means when you do actual division of p by q, it is any decimal. For example 1 by 2, it is a p by q rational number. If you do actual division, take a point here, 0 here, 5 times 10 gives 0 remainder by a answer of ended decimal. So these type of decimals are called as terminating decimals, expansion consisting of terminates. Then x can be possible to express as a p by q, here where p and q are integers and the prime factorization of q denominator is in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m, where m and n are non-negative integers. We have two type of decimal expansions. One is terminating decimals are terminating, non-terminating. Again non-terminating are two types, recurring, non-recurring. If the given rational number is in the form of p by q, if the denominator of the given rational number is in the form of, or prime product of the denominator is in the form of 2 power n and 5 power m, that is a terminating decimal. If it is not in the form of 2 power n or 5 power n, or it is a combination of 2 power n and 5 power m, it is a non-terminating one. Either may be recurring or non-recurring. Recurring means repeating decimal. For example, 1 by 7 is equal to 0.142857, 142,857. It is repeating. The term 142,857 is repeating, so that is 0.142857 bar you are saying. Clear? For example, 5 value 3.1417 and so on, there is no ending point of pi, so that's why it is a non-terminating and a non-recurring decimal. It is a non-terminating but recurring decimal, but the decimal is terminating. Its prime product of its denominator is in the form of 2 power n or 5 power n, or a product of 2 power n and 5 power m. Reverse, I am saying, if any rational number in the form of p by q having the product of denominator is in the form 2 power n and 5 power m, it is a terminating decimal. Next, if a rational number is in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers, it is not possible to express the denominator is in the form of 2 power n and 5 power m, that is a non-terminating decimal. You can see the definitions in the theorem of 1.4 and 1.5. Read 1.4 and 1.5 theorems. Here, exercise 1.3, the first sum is 3 by 8. Try to express it in the decimal form and how to find out whether it is terminating decimal or non-terminating decimal. First of all, try to express it in the decimal form. Divided 3 by 8. So when compared to the divisor, the dividend is very small, so that's why keep point and put 0 here. How many times in 8 table is nearest to 30 or equal to 30? 3 8s are 24. Again 30 minus 24 gives answer 6. So when you compare it to divisor, 6 is very small, so that's why keep 0 here. How many times it is nearest to 60? 7 8s are 56. Again it gives 4 as a fraction, 4 as a remainder. When compared to 0, when compared to 8, it is very small, so that's why again keep 0. 5 times it gives answer 40, so 0 remain. It means when you do continuously, at some time it gets the remainder 0, so that's why it is an 100 decimal. So 3 by 8 is equal to 0.375 in decimal expansion. It is a terminating decimal. Next, in exercise 1.3, first sum, fourth one, 2 by 11. Find out the decimal expansion of this and express it as a whether it is terminating decimal or non-terminating or recurring decimal. So try to do the division. So it is when compared to divisor, dividend is very small, so that's why keep 0 and point and put 0 here. So how many times? If you take 1 time, it is 11, 2 times it is 22 more, so that's why take 1 time. 1 11s are 11. Again it gives 9, so keep 0 here. So 8 times 88. Again 2 here, keep 0. 1 time 11 and 20 minus 11 gives 9, keep 0 here. Again 8 times, so it gives 88. Again it gives 2 as a remainder, put 0. How many times? 1 time 11 and 9. It is still continuing, so just like 18 18 18 18 18 18 18 18 18 18 18 and so on. So that's why it is a not ended decimal, that's why it is a 0.18 bar, non-terminating. non-terminating decimal, but it is repeating. 181818 is repeating, so that's why non-terminating but recurring. The decimal expansion is non-terminating but it is repeating, so that's why recurring decimal. Without doing actual division, try to express it as a terminating or non-terminating. So how to express? Before we learn a theorem, which means if any rational number, its denominator is in the form of 2 power n and 5 power m, or 2 power n only or 5 power n only, then the rational number is a non-terminating, then the rational number is a terminating decimal. Whether it is not in the form of 2 power n and 5 power m or 2 power n or 5 power n, that is a non-terminating recurring decimal. So try to find the prime factorization of 3125. It is ends with 2, so that's why first of all divided by with 5. How many times? 6 times 30, again 12 is there, so 2 times 10, again 25 is there, 25. Now with 5, again 5, 1 time 5. Again divided by with 5, 1 time 5, again 12 is there, 2 times 10, again 25. So with 5, 2 times 10, 5 times 25, again with 5, 5 times 25, again with 5, it is 1 time. So which means 3125 is expressed in the form of 5 into 5 into 5 into 5 into 1 2 3 4 5, which means 5 power 5. So 13 by 5 power 5. According to our theorem, the decimal form, according to our theorem, the denominator value is in the form of 5 power m or 2 power n, or in the combination of 2 power and 5 power m, that is a terminating decimal. The denominator is in the form of 5 power m, then it is terminating decimal. The denominator is in the form of 5 power m, then it is terminating decimal. So without doing actual division, try to say whether it is terminating decimal or non-terminating recurring decimal. Once observe, we have a theorem. When the given number denominator is in the form of 2 power n and 5 power m, or 2 power n or only 5 power m, then it is a non-terminating, then it is a terminating decimal. The above number (23 by 2 cube 5 square). The above number is a terminating decimal because the denominator is in the form of 2 power n and 5 power m. So when the denominator is in the form of 2 power n and 5 power m, that should be a terminating decimal, otherwise it is not be a terminating decimal.